Would you still wear your Zara t-shirt if you knew it was sewn with children's tears? In Bangladesh, 11-year-olds work 12-hour shifts in rooms so cramped the air tastes of dust. No breaks, no schools, just rusty needles. And grown-ups, they haven't been paid in 3 months. Now they're in the streets, demanding every penny they're already earned. Downstream, rivers run black. Factories pour dyes and chemicals into what families drink and bathe in. This is the hidden cost of cheap clothes. But to understand how things got this bad, we need to rewind the clock. There was a time when fashion meant elegance, luxury, a status symbol. But by the late 20th century, that all began to change. A wave of technology, cultural shifts, and globalization reshaped everything. Clothing production became a race, a relentless push for speed and profit. Brands began flooding the market with new designs every week, feeding an endless loop of microtrends. People no longer just wore clothes, they wore identities, aspirations, moods. And so, fast fashion was born. One country in particular stepped up to feed this global hunger: Bangladesh. Its economy was transformed, almost entirely centered around textile exports, designed to meet the West's insatiable demand for cheap, trendy clothes. But there was a cost, one paid not by the shoppers, but by the workers. Women, men, and children, the invisible backbone of the industry, trapped in exhausting, underpaid, and often dangerous labor. An environment, rivers turned toxic, soil poisoned, communities left to suffer from the waste dumped by factories that cared only about deadlines and margin. So now I think you got an understanding of how we got here. But to really grasp how deep this problem goes, I want to take you to one of the dirtiest links in this entire chain. This is a tannery, one of many in Bangladesh, that turns raw animal hides into leather. Leather that ends up in belts, shoes, handbags, things we barely think about when we buy them. The process is brutal. Skin soaked in a toxic cocktail of chromium, acid, lime, and sulfur. The smell? Well, it hits you like a wall. The air is thick. The floors are wet with chemicals. And all of this, it gets dumped straight into the rivers. No treatment, no filters, just liquid poison flowing into the water supply of millions. The same rivers people bathe in, cook with, drink from. Imagine that. You drink water coming from the same place these factories flush their waste. Yeah, when I was taking a boat from Dhaka to Borishal, I've seen hundreds of factories like steel, wood, and all of them have like a drain like that that goes into the water, and they're like just flowing with. So why does the government, like, do you think they don't do, like, at the moment you have like a very bad government situation, I know, but like in the past, why does the government allow such waste to go into your precious river, you know, like the life of your city?
I understand your in mind, but what can they do? What they put this water? Where? Because so many factories. So no way to put water inside the land. So that's why use the river.
But it can be like that in all of the world, you know.
I think if they do this to clean, I mean they find another way to put this water, but people again use this one because we don't follow the rules.
Exactly.
My country's people, maybe more than 70% people, they don't like to follow the rules. Like, see, the trash is a quiet place, no factory around here, but also very dirty. Because example, if I try smoke at here and smoke trash, I also put at here. So why? What can he do? The government, what can he do?
From toxic tanneries to the factories powering fast fashion, the human cost stayed hidden until 2013. On April 23rd, workers arrived at the Rana Plaza building to start their shift and saw a deep crack snaking up the walls. The bank employees and shopkeepers in the same structure were evacuated, but the garment workers were ordered back inside. The next morning, at 9 a.m., the building gave way. Floors pancaked in an instant. Over 1,100 lives were lost. More than 2,500 were injured. Mothers, fathers, siblings, all buried under concrete. The world watched in horror. Brands like Zara, H&M, and Walmart pledged safety reforms. But those promises never reached every factory. A decade later, workers are still fighting. Not for new buildings, just for the wages they've already earned.
Right behind me, you're currently witnessing a protest of T and Z factory workers that have not been paid their wages for over 3 months. There's currently more than 1,000 people gathered here to protest for that. I'm now gonna interview one of the people that has been working in the factory and that has not received their wages.
I haven't been paid for 3 months, over $400 owed to me. The TNZ group never gave us a date for when we'd see that money, so we organized a movement to demand our wages. They even told us the Minister of Leather had promised $30,000 for all of us, and that we'd be paid on April 8th. But that never happened. Since 2023, they've failed to pay us again and again. Whenever we raise our voices, they tell us they aren't earning much, yet they never share their own earnings or disclose their deals with foreign brands. This month, I finally received $90, but that was only so I could travel home for Eid. That payment wasn't kindness. It was an attempt to silence our protest. I feel like the people in Gaza, bombarded, deprived of basics, and yet here in Bangladesh, we're supposed to be free and equal. We're permanent workers, not temporary contractors, and still they treat us like we don't matter. Every time we demand what's ours, they offer only 20 or 30% of what they owe. But this shouldn't happen. We deserve our full wages and our dignity.
The protests are part of the story, but for most workers, there is no time to protest, just work. Day after day, inside suffocating rooms barely bigger than a living room, where the next wave of fast fashion is being stitched together.
Yeah?
He also a worker. He also working for clothes.
Really?
Yeah,
He looks very young.
Because in my country, 9 years, 10 years people also they come here for working.
How are you? How old are you?
13 years.
13 years old, and you work here?
Yeah.
How long has he been
তুমি
working
এখানে
already?
কতদিন ধরে কাজ করো? 1 year already.
1 year.
Already have been 1 year.
So he's like helping provide his family?
That,
Yes. Does he go to school?
he said that they don't force me for study.
Yeah.
They don't force me for work, but I don't like study. I joining here work for working.
These are the hidden rooms where clothes are made. Small subcontract workshops feeding massive supply chains. Most of them are invisible, even to the brands they produce for. There's no air conditioning, no proper lighting, no space for mistakes. Here, people sew until their backs ache and their fingers bleed. The noise never stops, the deadlines never move, and the wages are barely enough to survive. In these rooms, time folds into itself. Morning turns into night, days blur into years. And yet, this is the engine behind $5 t-shirts and trendy Instagram hauls.
Like daytime they're working here,
Yeah.
nighttime they also sleep at upstairs.
They sleep here.
Also here.
So they're literally all day in this room, day and night. They
Yeah.
sleep and work here.
Like a week, 1 day is holiday. So that time they go outside for playing.
Yeah.
And in downstairs also have local restaurant. Lunchtime, dinner time they eat from that place. Nighttime they sleep at here. And daytime they work here. Also the toilet, shower also over there.
Wow. It's almost like slavery.
Because most of the people from countryside.
Wow, and he's also very young, right?
তোমার বয়স কত ভাইয়া? 13 also. Mother and son.
Your son?
He working here 2 years.
2 years.
He have been work already 2 years.
No, all of them make the same amount of money, right? Or similar?
খালা আপনি কত টাকা কাজ করেন? Women is like cheap,
Yeah.
cheap than boy. Yes. It's
A
like
woman earn less?
less.
Really?
Yes. 80 euros per month.
But I thought women are better clothes makers than men. Can I ask her, like, how does she feel like working here?
Everything. She said that his father is leave. So right now, that time I found this job and
Yeah.
I still doing and I'm enjoying. So this is good comfortable for me.
Okay.
I say that you want to leave this job? He said that no, it's enough for me.
So, the next time you buy something that seems too cheap to be true, maybe it is. Behind every button, every seam, every discounted price tag is a long, invisible chain of people. People who are paid in broken promises, people who live where we dump our dyes, people who work where we wouldn't even want to breathe. This isn't just about clothes, it's about the value we place on human life. So what do? We start by knowing, by asking questions, by refusing to look away. Because once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. The true cost of fashion is not what we pay, it's what they pay.